Morning, Lord.
Oh, thank you, Rabbi. You're ahead of me. It's the
Yeah,
19th of March, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, Pesach Haggada.
very good. Okay, let's continue. We're reviewing the paragraph Ruk Shomer Es Havtachach Al Yisrael. Okay, Mary, go ahead.
Can't hear you, Mayor.
Said that he would do to Abraham, our forefather, at the Brit Habitarim. Shenemar, as it says, which is, I think, from Breshit. Vayomer Abraham Yadoa Teda Ki Ger Yehiezarcha Be'eretz Lo Lahem. So let's see. Said to Abraham, no. And you should certainly know, I guess, that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs. Avadum, the Inui Otam, and they will be in slavery, and they will oppress them. Arba'a Me'ot Shana, 400 years. Begam et Hagoy Asher Ya'avodu Dan Anochi Yacharei Kain Yetzu B'Rechush Gadol. Okay, and let's see, and also this nation that they will serve. Dan Anochi, I will judge, or I judged, or I am judging, I guess. V'acharei Kain Yetzu B'Rechush Gadol, and afterward, they would go out with a large amount of possessions. Gadol.
Now, one of the Meforshim I have here in the it's referred to as the Maisa Nisim. It's one of the Meforshim, one of the Haggada that I'm using here. Nesivos Mishpat. Yes, this is it was written by the Mechaber of the Nesivos Mishpat, which is Havas Das. It's one of the major commentaries in Shulchan Aruch. So he has two questions about this first statements as follows. Baruch Shomer Avtachosai. So the question he asked, first of all, what's the additional statement that's being added here that Baruch Shomer Avtachosai, the Israel, that from previously what we said already, that we're saying that a Kadosh Baruch Hu mechashev etzakeitz lasos mashomer shomer shavtachu shelechora kula achasin. It's a scene. What's the difference between the two statements here? Baruch shomer avtachal Yisrael. What's the difference between that and Shakadosh Baruch Hu kishev etzakeitz lasos kama shamer lavam mavinu b'bris peinu b'sarim? You understand this question here? That it seems to be that Kadosh Baruch Hu is Shomer the Kate. What's the difference between Shomer the Kate, Shomer the Havtacha, and Chishev Esaketz?
I'm sorry, you'll have to translate for me.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, I'm not following the Hebrew.
Shomer Havtacha. So we're praying Baruch Shomer Havtachal Yisrael Baruch Hu. We're praising Kadosh Baruch Hu that he is, or he had, it's past tense, he had Shomer Havtachal was his promise. Shomer, he guarded, he watched over, he was careful to keep his promise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what are we adding by the second statement, right? Shakadosh Baruch Hu Chishev Esekates. Chishev Esekates, that he kept in mind the end, meaning lasos. He kept in mind to fulfill. He kept in mind literally, meaning Chishev Esekates. He kept in mind to fulfill what he promised Avos Avinu.
What was the promise that we're referring to?
That we would be taking out. That's what follows in the next thing. Shenemar Lavu Avinu B'Risben B'Sayim. V'Yomar Avraham Yoda Teda Ki Ger. You should know. You should certainly know. It'll be a ger. Your zerecha, your offspring shall be a strangers. The Eretz Nolam in a land that's not theirs. They'll be enslaved and they'll be oppressed for 400 years.
This word chishav, it means to calculate.
Like this, it's the same source as what's makshava. Makshava is to think, right? Makshava is like the active world, and this is Pishev is that I think it's in past tense. Pishev, he had considered fulfilling the coming to completion, bringing to he was considered to bring it to completion what he planned to do, as he said to Avram Avinu.
Also, I think that they're different. They're different things. One can't be without the other. We first have to have the end of our bondage before Hashem can fulfill His promise to us.
There had to be a way that the bondage came to an end, meaning there was a certain time span. There was a certain time span which was required, and once the time span was reached, then it had to be effected to that the actual exodus could be effected. That's
So why was they mentioned in the opposite? Almost seems like back to front.
Yeah, meaning the fulfillment of the promise is after the time has been reached, right?
Mm.
I understand what you're asking, right?
I wonder also, is it a change in tense? The shomer is present tense, and chishav is past tense. So he's keeping his pledge that he calculated the end.
Okay, that sort of brings a secondary question which is asked here. I mean, for Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't do things the way people do things. People, they have to keep in mind a certain timeline, a certain scheduling, a certain process that has to take place. But with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, everything can be done as His will deems it. So why was there necessity of Chishev Esekates? What was the consideration that had to be taken in here for the ultimate concluding promise to be fulfilled?
Well, that's for us. The calculation, that gets into the whole thing with the 430 years and the 210 years, and took us out early, and that whole subject.
Right.
So we're blessing him because he did that whole calculation and figured out all that stuff for our benefit. But the first blessing is saying that he did that. That all happened back then, but now he's still doing it. He's still keeping his pledge. He's still guarding over us and protecting us and helping us.
You think that first statement is referring to what's happening now, even?
Yes.
I think that's maybe the next paragraph, V'hi sha'amda, right? Let's look at the next paragraph.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's the same point. He guarded us. He kept he made a pledge and he kept it. He took us out of Egypt. But I heard a vort one time that how does it go? The Malach Mavet passed over the Jewish houses.
Right.
Why is it the Malach Mavis and not Hashem? Because it's teaching us something about the progress of history, that it's not just in one generation that the Malach Mavis passed over us, that we survived, and another civilization was destroyed, but it happens in every generation that we survive and the civilizations around us fall, so that we have now, after 3,000 years, the Jewish people still exist, but the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, the ancient Persians, the ancient Egyptians, they're all gone.
Right. So this, what you're saying, this relates with this, we can now relate it back to the first paragraph, that because it says that again, the promise was made to Avram Avinu, that it was a promise that was going to be fulfilled through the existence of Yezarecha. It'll be your offspring, since we're the offspring of Avram Avinu, right? That gives the continuation of Hashem's promise, that it's not simply a promise, because in the microcosm of what Hashem was saying to Avram Avinu, it was really for those 400 years that was the promise, that they were going to be going and enslaved and being oppressed, and Hashem would take us out, and we would come out for Hush Gadol. We would come out with a great amount of wealth, right? But on the other hand, since there was a promise to the in general to the offspring of Avram Avinu, so wherever the offspring of Avram Avinu are, there's a continuation to fulfill that original promise.
Right.
Okay. Fine. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Good. Let's continue on. Okay. Let's see the next paragraph.
Let's see. Say ulamad ma bikesh lavan harami la'asot liYaakov Avinu. So go out and learn what Lavan, the Aramean,
Right. Go and learn.
wanted to do to Yaakov, our forefather.
The case, what he sought to do. Go and
What he
learn
sought.
what. Right. Meaning, we want to bring an example. Right. The Hisha Amda. Right. The Hisha Amda of Vasenu Volanu, that Hashem stood by us, for us, our Vasenu, and for us. Right. That they were continually, one generation after the next generation, standing up against us to Hashem do the worst. So say may go and you can learn out from the pasuk about see it even in the very beginning of our history, right? When we had just even at that point become a family unit, right? There was a Yaakov Avinu with the shifted car with the brothers. So now, even at that early stage of our development, they were already in the case of the Romans desire to Mokares Hakol, to uproot everything. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Parolo Gazar, Ella al Hazikarim. That Pharaoh made a decree only against the males. The Lavan bikesh la'akor et kol, but Lavan wanted to uproot all of us, or all. That was a big difference.
The questions asked here, how do we understand what the Tseilom made is? What's Tseilom? Come and learn. Are we trying to bring a proof? Trying to bring a proof what we said previously, meaning Mikol Dor V'Dor. If we want to bring a proof that Mikol Dor V'Dor, they stood against us, Amdi Malenu, Kalosenu. So all you see is from the time of, you see one instance of loving. You don't see any proofs for each and every generation. Number one. And number two, the questions asked here is the question is, if it's Seilam is trying to bring proofs, what we said, the statements made is we don't need proof. I mean, anyone who knows anything about, our history, there's no one that doesn't know about all the things that happened to the Jewish people throughout all the generations. Right? So it seems to people is not to have to bring a proof for this. So it's not clear what the Tzei Lamed is coming to. What is Tzei Lamed? Right?
Right. Okay. Here's the I guess the quote. I guess. Let's see. Arami Oved Avi Vayered Mitzrayma Vayagar Sham Imtei Me'at Vayihi Sham Legoy Gadol Atzum Varav. Okay, so an Aramean, I guess, tried to destroy my father, and he went down to Egypt, and Hagar, I guess, lived there with a few people.
That's not referring to the people. If we want to dwell there, to sojourn there for a short time.
Oh, for a short time. Oh, Imte is time. Oh, okay. Vayisham Legoy Gadol, but he became there a great and strong and numerous nation. Okay. So Vayered. Vayered Mitzrayma.
All right. Oh, so one second. So let's
Okay.
say Elomed. So the Tzei Lamed is not coming to bring a proof that they're always the Kol Dor V'Dor only Malena, right? The Kalosena. But the proof that's coming here is that Hashem was with us, right? Each and every time. Just as Hashem was with Abraham, Yaakov Avinu at the very beginning, right? This is what the proof is, right? The proof. If you want to explain what the Tzei Lamed, what are we coming to learn here, right? Tzei Lamed, Ma Bikesh So you want to come and learn from what Laban tried to do to Yaakov Avinu. So what do you learn from that? You learned from that the Kol Dor V'Dor Amdim Maleno, in each and every generation they come and stand against us. Well, first of all, that doesn't show that they're standing against us each and every generation. It just shows what happened to Yaakov Avinu. And also, you don't, apparently, as stated, you don't need a proof for that, because you can just look back in what your own personal experience and the knowledge of history is, that seems to be the fact. Right? So that Seo Lamed is coming to teach us the Maharal in Prague says that Seo Lamed is coming to give us a proof that Hashem is, right, going back on the last statement. The last statement, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matzi Leinu Miyad.
Okay.
That's the proof of what we're bringing here. Just as HaKadosh Baruch Hu stood by Yaakov Avinu and saved him, right? So in all the other times, right, Hashem also stood by us and saved us as well. Okay, let's continue on.
Looks like they're going to explain these phrases here.
Yeah.
Right. Vayered Mitzrayma, and they went down to Egypt. Anus al pi hadibor. Anus.
So now the Haggada is taking apart the psukim here, and is going to explain, elaborate on each one of the psukim. So here, Yared Mitzrayim. The question is, why did Yaakov Avinu go to Mitzrayim? Right? I mean, you look in the Chumash, you see quite a good understanding of why Yaakov Avinu went down to Mitzrayim. The whole story with Yosef and the brothers and the famine, right?
Okay.
And back and forth. So finally, Yaakov Avinu was told by Yaakov with the instructions of Pharaoh, you should come down to Mitzrayim. So Yaakov Avinu went down to Mitzrayim.